Hello everybody, it's me Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another Video Game Flashback review. This time I'm going and re-reviewing, or am I reviewing it for the first time? I don't think I ever did. This is my review of Undertale. Is this a good game or not? This game was developed and published by Toby Fox and released all the way back in September 15 of 2015 on just about every system. It started off on PC, but then they just came out with ports for everything. Now, if I am going to say this, I still have to say this. If you don't know what Undertale is, it's a role-playing, top-down sort of perspective bullet hell game where you play as a small child that falls into the secluded underground region that is solely populated by weird monsters and creatures. You go around exploring the areas almost like a Zelda-style overhead view. You talk to all kinds of different creatures, solve puzzles to help you progress on your trip to get back up top. Now, the main thing that this actually people love about this game, in fact, that one guy made it really, but I'll get into that in a little bit, is the overall gameplay feel of how the game actually is. It's weird. The fight mechanics are quite unique. It starts off almost like a standard role-playing game where you have the character to the one side, you've got their little health bars and meters, and then you think it's going to be turn-based like a Final Fantasy game. But no, then it turns into these multiple different little mini bullet hell games, which first of all, that's one thing I'll nitpick about, but the bullet hell aspect is a very unique way to have every single enemy that fights you have a different form of attack. And you got your little meter on top if you want to attack, because it gives you all kinds of different options in your battle. You can attack them, you can choose to pacify them, which is kind of like give them compliments. You can do something I think that's known as act, where you can basically look at the stats of the character to try to base your decision on what you do. I mean, you can beat them up enough and then you can show them mercy at the end, or you can just run away from every single enemy in the game, except for the bosses. I'll get into that. It's pretty interesting. Now, the thing about this game is that even though it's not overly long, it is one of these games that if you play multiple times and do different things, it has a remarkable amount of different variation in this title. Every playthrough that you go through changes the plots and events for most part, and even boss battles. The main thing about this game is you can actually go through the whole game and not killing any enemies, including the bosses. But the tricks with the bosses are a little of a pain in the butt, because I found some of them, you can complete them without attacking, but you have to wait for them to go through their whole story of what they're talking, and that's one thing about this game. The dialogue is insane. It just keeps going on and on and on. And like I said, the dialogue changes on multiple different playthroughs, and it does have different endings. Most people know this. You can have the regular run, a pacifist run, which is almost like a no-kill run, or the genocide no mercy run, where you go around and you have to kill all the enemies. In fact, this is even weirder. Is apparently there's a certain set amount of random encounters you will have in each section of the game. Okay, now I don't know how you can tell when there's no more enemies, but if you randomly move around after a while, much like a classic Final Fantasy game, you are attacked by an enemy, and in order to actually get the Genocide No Mercy run, you have to go through every area and make sure any random encounter has been defeated, because apparently there's a set amount of them in the game world. And once you do that and you actually beat all the bosses, you could actually see the Genocide No Mercy ending. Now, the thing that's really cool about this game, and I think hands down the reason why it is standing the test of time and people love this game so much, is the multiple aspects of it over the fact that I myself am impressed that one guy did this, okay? He developed the entire game by himself. Now, the only thing he did have help with is he had some creative people come on and help with certain character designs. I think that was part of the Kickstarter deal if you pledged enough. But that's one thing. Other than that, everything else, even down to the dialogue, the music, that was all done by Toby Fox. He wrote all that and came up with it. Now, the thing is, this is another thing that I didn't know until I dove deep into this game. He has all kinds of very odd inspirations that made him come up with this game. His inspirations came from the game Brandish, the role-playing game the Mother series, which come on, it's like one of the best role-playing series to date. Its story's even better than a lot of the Final Fantasies. Then the bullet hell parts in the game, he got from something called the Tohau Project. I'm probably saying that wrong. And comedy writing, this threw me for a loop. All the weird, wacky comedy writing, he got kind of inspiration from the show Mr. Bean. Yeah, I'm actually not kidding about that. Now, as you go on and you play through this game, like I said, it's only about maybe a couple hours or so long. It's not that long. And it does have some really charming characters that, like I said, so damn famous for its music, especially the Megalovania song, which is, you can only even hear that or see it if you actually go through a certain way to beat the game, and you have to end up fighting Sans, the skeleton, Sans, or whatever you want to call it. But hands down, I can see the charm of it. Now, there was some people that did say they had an issue with the top-down perspective and the game world, the geometry of the game world, the way that the game looks. They said the graphics aren't that good. And once again, I totally agree with you, but there's a reason for it. Now, this game started as a Kickstarter campaign a long, long time ago. And it honestly got what he was looking for. He was looking for, I think, $50,000 to make this game. And he ended up with $51,124. So he actually was able to get enough money to actually build this game. But it took him forever. There was all kinds of delays and everything, too. It took him over 2.5 years to complete this game. And honestly, you play it, and visually, it is an ugly-looking game. It really is not visually impressive. I realize one guy made it, and you definitely got to give him credit there. But honestly, I would love to see some sort of remake of this with like modern-day graphics and stuff. I think that would be such a unique flashback that I think it would be popular. I'd play it if they did a remake of it. But yeah, the character sprites, some are adorable, some are just disgusting. The animation is good for what it is, but you just got to think the amount of time and effort one guy put into this. There are some things I kind of don't like about it, like the bullet hell sequences I love, but it's such a tiny screen, and there's very few parts where it's actually taking up most of the screen for the bullet hell, so it's really hard to see. And if you're in the middle of trying to dodge your heart through everything, it's actually amazingly quite difficult, especially when you go on the higher level playthroughs. That gets really rough. Now, since this game has been out, it has sold over 5 million copies. Naturally, it's a bona fide hit. Everyone knows about Undertale. Even it's one of those things, if you just play a certain song and people are like, oh my god, I know what that is. It's like, yeah, it's from Undertale. Now, Toby hasn't really been, kicking back on his laurels. He has still been working on other games as well, and so far since this game's released, he has a new game called Deltarune, which he's released Part 1 and Part 2 of. I do not know how many parts it is. Maybe it is just 2 parts, but maybe I'll do a review on Deltarune. I'll be honest, I've never played through the first part. I got to the end of that first part, and I haven't played the second part yet, so that's something I need to go back and play. But Undertale, God, I've played this way too much. But in the end, can I sit here and say this game that came out all the way back in 2015 is a good game? And once again, I have to put my foot and my brain mindset back in the day when this came out in 2015. And I would have to say, visual quality, I'm sorry, it's not impressive. There are some sprites that are really cool looking, but the visual fidelity of this game isn't the greatest, even by 2015 standards. Yes, once again, I realize one guy made it, but still, the visual fidelity. But the writing, hands down, is phenomenal. The soundtrack is fantastic, and just the sheer replayability of this, of so many different options and abilities, and I think being one of the first role-playing games where you could actually play through the whole game without actually fighting anyone. Hands down, I still have to say, even for now, even today, I have to say Undertale is a fantastic game. It does have its problems, like most games do, but in the end, I would have to say, overall, it is still a charming, fun, interesting game to play that I can still even recommend if you've never ever played Undertale, which I highly doubt. I think everybody has played this game. But if you ever have a chance, an iota that you didn't ever play this game, I can recommend it. Just remember, don't be looking for no Grand Theft Auto graphics and control in this, people. This is a very, very bare-bone game, but at the same time, it is rather deep in its design work and structure. Yes, in the end, I can definitely say Undertale is a fantastic game and still holds up today. Please leave in the comments if you agree or disagree with me, if there's anything I missed about this game. What was your favorite part in Undertale? What was the part you hated the most? Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And of course, here at Devil Dog Gaming, we always end our videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.